James Gleick, his author of The Information, A History, a Theory, a Flood. James, are we all drowning in information today?
So many people say that we're drowning in information that there must be some truth to it.
Well, you added the word flood to your title, so there must be something to it in your mind as well.
I must be thinking about it. Yeah, yes. It's we feel deluged. I know I do. I mean, I'm schizophrenic about this. You know, if my portable device is out of wireless range for a few minutes, I start to twitch a little bit. I feel a little bit cut off. On the other hand, as soon as I search for something, I sometimes feel overwhelmed. You know, as I'm sure you do. There's just too much, and you get more than you bargained for, and you find yourself struggling to sift fact from fiction, struggling to find real knowledge amid the flood of apparent facts or factoids. Everybody knows this. It's what Google lives for, you know, being a search engine and a filter for us, and all of these other services too. Twitter is not just a way of chattering, it's a way of helping people find things. And that's, if it has a value, I believe that's its value. And yet, Twitter is not just a solution to information flood for some people, it is unquestionably adding to the flood.
Are you on Twitter?
I am.
What's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter handle is my name, James Gleick.
And do you use it much?
Not particularly imaginative. I'm not, I feel if I said I was using it much, then I would let people down. Anybody who suddenly tries to follow me, I think, is liable to be disappointed.
Why aren't you using it much?
I don't exactly know how.
You don't know how to use it?
I know how to use it.
You just got to use the computer.
Andrew, I know what to do physically, but I'm not exactly sure what's the right thing to do. You know, I don't personally care to tweet what I had for my last meal. Some people do. Even some people I follow with pleasure. I'm not particularly good at making jokes, but some of the people I especially love following are clearly exploring Twitter as a new kind of joke space. They're making a new kind of art form out of Twitter. There are people who use Twitter to provide a sort of political guidance to their followers or intellectual guidance, and I'm not prepared to offer that yet. But I certainly thought I ought to put my toe in the water. I signed up for Twitter a couple of months before I finished my manuscript, before I turned in the book, and I've been using it more and more ever since. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't sucked in.
But as you call yourself a scientific journalist, I call you an erudite analysis of science. Do you share Nicholas Carr's opinion that the internet and this flood of information is making us stupid? That it's changing the shape of our brains?
No, and yes. No, I don't believe it's making us stupid. And he would probably, I hope he would feel that that was an unfair summary of his more complicated point of view.
Well, he did write a famous piece for The Atlantic saying that, you know, is Google making you stupid?
He did. No, I don't think you're being completely unjust. But when you put it that way, no, I don't believe that. Do I believe it's changing our brains? Yes. But I think everything changes our brains. Everything we do changes our brains. And as I've said, being able to read and write changes our brains in fundamental ways, which some people have argued were bad ways. People like Marshall McLuhan and, for that matter, Plato worried that the invention of reading and writing was going to be harmful to us as integrated selves. The internet certainly has the potential to make us act stupid in certain particular ways. It may enable us to be lazy. We may, in the worst case, think that being able to snap our fingers and find the answer to a particular factual question is a sort of intelligence. And if we think that, then we are deluding ourselves. I'm sure that's a part of Nicholas Carr's argument, and it's true. the internet can make us lazy and it can distract us. You know, I've admitted that I'm spending time on Twitter. I'm not claiming that the time I spend on Twitter wouldn't be better spent, perhaps, reading the long list of books that are piling up on my bed table. But I also believe that individually and collectively, the internet does good things for us, enables us to gain access to ideas and thoughts from far away that were formerly out of reach.